For decades, people have been sold the dream of climbing the corporate ladder. Work hard, stay loyal, and one day you might reach the top. It's a story we've all heard before, repeated in boardrooms, classrooms, and family dinners. But how often do we stop to examine whether this path actually leads where it promises? Is the view from the top worth the decades spent scaling its rungs? Let's look at the real numbers behind this so-called secret exit from financial struggle. Beneath the glossy veneer of corner offices and six-figure salaries lies a harsh truth about what it really takes to achieve wealth through the traditional corporate route. The harsh truth about corporate wealth? Sure, CEOs make millions. Their names grace headlines, their faces appear on magazine covers, and their lives seem like something out of a Hollywood script. But let's peel back the curtain for a moment. Have you ever noticed their age? Most aren't rich in their 30s or 40s. They're in their 50s and 60s. It took decades of grinding, long hours, endless stress, and total dedication to the company. And even then, only a tiny fraction ever make it to the upper echelons. For every CEO earning millions, there are thousands stuck in middle management, wondering if they'll ever see more than a modest bonus. Take Michael, for example. At 48, he was finally promoted to vice president after 20 years of service at his firm. He had sacrificed vacations, missed birthdays, and endured countless sleepless nights preparing presentations for executives who barely remembered his name. When I asked him how it felt to finally reach the C-suite, he chuckled bitterly. "It's not what I thought it would be," he admitted over coffee one afternoon. "I spent half my life chasing this title, thinking it would bring freedom. Instead, now I'm just another cog in a bigger machine. The pressure is insane, and guess what? They'll replace me as soon as someone younger and cheaper comes along." Michael's story isn't unique. It's emblematic of the corporate climb trap. Yes, some people reach the top, but by the time they get there, they've already given away the best years of their lives working for someone else. The corporate illusion, the idea that hard work guarantees success, is deeply ingrained in our culture, but it's also dangerously misleading. Success in the corporate world isn't just about effort, it's about politics, connections, and luck. Here's why. Promotions aren't meritocratic. Think back to your last office meeting. Who got promoted? Was it always the hardest worker, or did other factors come into play? Maybe Karen landed the promotion because she played golf with the boss. Or maybe Jake moved up because his uncle sat on the company's board. Hard work matters, sure, but so does being in the right social circles. Loyalty isn't rewarded. Companies don't reward loyalty. They exploit it. A lifetime of dedication can end in a single layoff email. Remember Tom, the guy who worked at the same manufacturing plant for 30 years? One day, the company outsourced operations overseas, and poof. Tom was handed a severance package and sent packing. His loyalty didn't matter. To them, he was expendable. Time doesn't equal freedom. Even if you manage to claw your way to the top, ask yourself, what have you truly gained? By the time you're sitting in that corner office, you may find yourself too exhausted or too old to enjoy it. Your health suffers, your relationships strain, and your personal dreams remain unfulfilled. You traded your youth for a paycheck, and the cost was higher than you realized. Samantha learned this lesson the hard way. She joined her company fresh out of college, full of ambition and optimism. Over the years, she climbed steadily, earning promotions and accolades. But when she turned 50, she looked around and realized something unsettling. She had no hobbies, no close friends outside of work, and no clear sense of purpose beyond her job title. "I built my entire identity around this company," she told me during a rare weekend off. Now I wonder, was it worth it? A different approach. Instead of climbing someone else's ladder, why not build your own? This doesn't mean abandoning professionalism or rejecting opportunities. It means taking control of your destiny, instead of leaving it in the hands of a corporation. Here's how. Create value. That scales a business, brand, or investment that grows without needing 40 years of labor, offers far greater potential than a linear career trajectory. Consider entrepreneurs like Elon Musk or Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. They didn't wait for promotions or pensions. They created systems that generated value independently of their daily input. Imagine starting a small online course teaching a skill you excel at. Initially, it might require significant effort to develop content and attract students, but once established, it could generate passive income for years, allowing you to focus on expanding or exploring new ventures. Und säger, beverage. Skills, not just time. The corporate model pays for hours worked, not results achieved. If you want true financial independence, shift your mindset from trading time for money to leveraging skills that produce exponential returns. For instance, becoming an expert coder, consultant, or public speaker allows you to charge premium rates based on the impact you deliver, not the number of hours you log. James understood this principle early in his career. Rather than pursuing promotions within his company, he invested in learning digital marketing. Within 2 years, he launched his own agency, helping local businesses grow their online presence. Today, he earns significantly more than he did as a mid-level manager, and he works fewer hours doing something he loves. Control your future. Relying on a company to define your future is risky. Markets shift, industries collapse, and companies downsize. Building your own ladder gives you autonomy and resilience. Whether it's creating multiple streams of income, diversifying investments, or developing transferable skills, taking ownership of your career ensures you won't be left stranded if circumstances change. Maria discovered this firsthand when her tech startup failed after 5 tumultuous years. While many would consider this a devastating blow, Maria saw it as a chance to pivot. Using the experience and network she'd built, she transitioned into angel investing, funding startups in emerging markets. Her diversified approach allowed her to bounce back stronger than ever. Because if you spend decades climbing a ladder, you better make sure it's leaning against the right wall. Corporate success stories exist, but they're exceptions, not rules. For every triumphant executive, there are countless others who burned out, got laid off, or simply never reached the heights they envisioned. Don't fall for the illusion that hard work alone will lead to prosperity. Take stock of your goals, assess your options, and consider whether the corporate ladder aligns with the life you truly want. As Samantha put it during our conversation, I used to think the corporate climb was the only way. Now I realize it's just one path among many, and not necessarily the best one for everyone. So ask yourself, are you climbing toward freedom, or are you trapped in a system designed to keep you running in place?